Hi guys, thanks for joining me on Not Nosy, Just Curious. So nice you guys joined me like this. I'm so appreciative. Anyhow, what I want to ask the both of you is how do you stay current in your craft? Vince, your craft being golf, John, yours being hair. Um, how do you not get tired of the craft? How do you just not walk away from it? How do you not get frustrated? Start, Vince.
Okay, well, hey, first of all, thank you for having me again, and it's my pleasure to be on here. And to answer your question, it's more than a craft; it's like a pursuit.
Oh, I like
Um, yeah, golf is such a all-encompassing, wide. Uh, it's just a wide world of learning. So I kind of look at it, especially at this age, 64. Where I can just learn as much as I can and enjoy it from that perspective as much as playing it. So yeah, and I can't learn it all.
What about you, John? Why haven't you turned your back on it? Why haven't you tired of it?
Oh, it's because it's art. Art is just art. Art, hair and music and all that kind of stuff all goes with the same thing. I have no choice but to stay current. With hair, if I don't stay current, people are going to beat me to a pulp. Okay, they'll cry in my chair. So I have no choice but to stay current because that's my job. Fashion and music, you're forced to stay current. Okay, you.
Yeah, but John, you're kind of rendered helpless sometimes in your craft in that the customer has they're in the driver's seat. So whatever, don't you ever feel crippled by that?
Oh, like all the time. Like all the time. That's basically what you that's why you stay current is like how can I get you to go forward, okay, so I can go forward. So I got to stay within people's comfort zone, so I learn different crafts on different different types of textures of hair, and and just trying to push up to the edge without going over it. So I mean, I got to stay current. I never knew not to be current. I mean, who taught me that was a friend of ours mother. You remember Isabella's mother?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, she
Did.
schooled me on that. Yeah, she always said that, because her secret, there was always one more painting. There was always more something else to do, and she always had to stay more and more current because, like with Vincent's, these are crafts that you can't do them without going forward. It's
Do you
it's.
feel
Go ahead.
do you feel the same way, Vince? Do you think there's a growth process in staying current, or I mean, what has changed in the game of golf or in your craft from when you started to now?
Yeah, well, golf is steep in tradition. So the traditional reasons for playing, a lot of people like the camaraderie, the gentlemanship of it. That's what I'm enjoying and appreciating now. But the things you need to stay current on is the equipment. Is just every year it's just newer and better stuff to improve golfers, along with technique. I used to teach a little bit too, so that's fascinating to me. That when I first learned how to play, you learn by a book. We're all of that age where you go to the library and get a book, learn how to play golf, which is very difficult because it's such an artistic, as John would say too, it's an art in golf, such an artistic game. And then you would either that or you have a soothsayer, an older person that would teach you, and you learn by word of mouth, which is also kind of hard. But now you've got all these new ways of learning because of the internet, and you can just click a subject within golf and figure out how to work on this part of your game, that part of your game. So yeah, you have to stay current if you want to get better or you want to be relevant, or the game is just it's just blossoming with information now.
So, how did the both of you get beyond a brain freeze or a block or a creativity, like a writer's block? How do you get beyond? How do you get beyond that? How do you get out of your own head in those situations?
With me, sometimes if I get too close to it, I start ruining it. So sometimes I have to step away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. maybe do something else for a minute. I have very many goals, and not just those two things. Okay. So if I can't go forward with that, then maybe I need to beef up my workouts. Maybe I need to change the chemistry going on in my brain so I can actually not get so frustrated that I don't want to do it anymore.
So
Okay.
it frustrates you. You get frustrated.
Because it's hard.
I know you get
I love
frustrated.
hard. I love what I hate. Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
I both of those gears, the things that I do, they're so hard that it's ridiculous. What you have to know is so hard, and it keeps my brain going, and it bleeds off to other things, regardless of those two things that I have a complete passion for. So, I like hard. And so hard comes with respect to challenge, and I have to remind myself because I'm a human, because I start going to the point I'm still looking for a talent button. If a golf club just had a talent button, Vince, you wouldn't have no problems.
Right,
If
right.
musical instruments had a talent button, or scissors had a talent button, I would have no problems, period. But there is no talent button. The button is me. And I think I think a little bit of arrogance about what I do is healthy, not to the type of arrogance to where I think I'm better than anybody else. Nothing. It's never nothing like that. Arrogance is my own competition is me. Okay, so basically, I have to have a little bit of arrogance not to stop. I'm too stupid to stop. Okay, I can't stop. Okay, I'm too obsessed. So
Now, what do
anyway,
you think of that, Vince? What do you think of John? I mean, it's he's too stupid to stop, and he likes hard.
Well, yeah,
Um,
and golf and hard are synonymous. I mean,
right.
and I'm sure musicians and hairdressers, they come across that writer's block just like we do, or that creative block. But every time, I mean, if you stick around long enough, you'll find that the writer's block or the creativity stunt, it's a plateau where it's just a test. So getting frustrated is one way that you know that you don't want to go about it again. If you just sit tight, there's something to learn there. You're there for a reason. So, you explore some more. If I can't find my game, it's been years where I haven't found my game. I talked to my old pro who used to be, on the tour. He used to caddy on the tour, and he knows. And even if I can't perform it right then, I can absorb it mentally, and I'm okay with that until I can use it. Because I get so much information, so much good information from very good players that sometimes it's over my head. But if you stick around long enough, that information will resurface, repackage itself in a new lesson,
I like
and
that.
you can get it. You know what I mean? Because they're not giving you, the guys I'm getting my information from, it's real good stuff. It's not out the funny books. It's, straight from hard work and being at the top of their craft. So,
But have you guys learned to modify and adjust from the old school training? Have you guys learned to adapt and make it your golf game or your cutting technique? Have you left the schooling behind from a million years ago and adapted the game to more suit you, or the haircut to more suit you, your craft? I mean, are there little tweaks that you have found better suited your craft than what you were taught?
well, that's a double-sided sword, because basically, when I get stuck in both of my crafts that I love to do, the thing I got to go back is back to my basics. I
You
forgot my
do.
basics. I modify things so much with customizations of me doing it that I've left my foundation and didn't even know it. Okay,
So
so
you kind of messied it up a little bit.
oh yeah, when I lose my focus, the first thing I do is say, see Dick, run, go, spot, go. Let's break this down to the most simplest. Now, where did you get off the track? What's going on here? Okay, you're making this way more complicated than you need to, John, blah, 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 So what do I gotta do? Go back to the basics. Okay. And then I started saying, oh man, dude, you don't do that anymore. What made you not do that? Because in the process of advancement, you leave some of the foundations that can't leave.
Have you found that to be the case too, Vince, where you have gone off track and now you got to Like John said, you got to go back.
It helped me to teach a little bit. I dipped my finger in teaching a little bit. And even when I was teaching my nephew, who decided not to play the game, but he, wanted to learn at that point, and he must have been 6 or 7. So it's not too much. You can't over talk, or you have to simplify the information. The things that I would tell him, it just picking up a golf club, is take your time, look where you're going, hit it down there. And John is right. Sometimes I get so much information, or you get so much off of your foundation or your platform, I have to come back to almost that. What I used to tell Anthony: take your time, look where you're going, hit it down there, because that's the platform. That's your foundation, and you can get so many ideas in your head that you can't do them all at one time, but you can do that. Those are 3 simple things. So yeah, teaching kind of helped me stay grounded, and you learn twice when you teach.
Do you guys think you should have a formal foundation that in your background, or do you think a self-taught artist can be just as good?
Well, there's no such thing as self-taught. I don't know what self-taught really kind of means.
I never went to school, and I never.
Well, yeah, but who's to say that they know either? We're all self-taught. We get the information, and it has to make sense of. You can't really teach me how to do something. Okay, I got to break it down to where how is this going to work for me? Okay, period. So we're all self-taught. Even if you go to college, a lot of times that's where you get that you get more in a box when you like. I found more of my friends got in a box when they went to college.
Oh, that's interesting. Really?
You know what I mean? They got right into a box. Their panoramic thinking stopped. And they went into this one way of thinking that basically, and they shut the outside world out. Me, I don't want to be part of any group. I just want to be me. I want to absorb and love the world as it is, no matter whatever you are, know what sex you are, what color you are, what background you are. It doesn't matter. You're all God's creatures, and you deserve my attention, my love, and basically. That's how I keep improving myself. I take a responsibility for me being in this world. Okay, period. And on a daily basis. And, sometimes it's with my craft and sometimes it's not with my craft. As I'm trying to be a good person and I'm trying to be a professional person. Okay. And treat everything that way. And my arts go right along with it. Okay, period. So if it comes down to me, for me to improve in the things I want to do, I got to go back to me as a person, not just my art. Okay.
Now, have you guys ever felt like giving up? Never.
Yeah. Every day.
Yeah, it's a struggle. And back to your question about being self-taught, I'm going to take that as to mean you have natural talent, right? Is that what you're alluding to, Yvonne?
Well, that, and also not having to be taught for you, Vince, how to hold the stick, what to look at, where to go, how to place it. What about the person who's never, just maybe went on, for you too, John, went on the internet, learned how to cut, and they don't have the formal foundation?
Yeah, the thing about golf is that it's such a process, especially if you're talking about aspiring to be a pro at the highest level. So you're going to find yourself, it's good to have that natural hand-eye coordination and all of that, but it still has to be tempered. Because there's so many fundamentals within the game and so much structure that your natural talents still have to be able to handle pressure. Your natural talents still have to be able to do things to ascend to a higher level. So yeah, it's good that you're self-taught or have natural talent, but and it's a time thing too when you're talking about getting to those levels, because if you don't have the money, you gotta wait to get that. You gotta wait to get a identity or a sponsor or something. It's always so patience is gonna temper that self that child prodigy or whatever, but I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, you got a head start, but you still have to have the dedication, because like John's crafts, doing hair and doing music, you have to be dedicated, because I've known a lot of people that had natural talent that didn't have the dedication. And I know the people that had the dedication without the natural talent, that the people with the dedication tend to win out,
Do you think, are you highly competitive? I mean, do you think both these crafts require competitiveness, or to keep on going so that you don't just quit?
Well, I don't compete against other people. I compete with my past self.
So you're
Okay.
your own worst enemy.
Oh, I'm the only person I need to impress is me. Okay, with
So
me,
you,
because
Jen,
I'm
you
hard
never
on me.
felt like you wanted to make records and go on tour and be the big man on the block. You never had that
Oh, I
idea.
did. Oh, I did. I mean, I went on tour. I didn't realize I was going to hate it. I hate the business. I love I love the craft. I don't ever want to do it as a business.
So is that
Okay.
like for you too, Vince? Is there a business, like John's saying, a business side and a craft side? Is there a part of this you hate?
Well, yeah. Well, when I was in the business, I taught for a little while, and I had my game suffered because I couldn't practice, right? Because if you want a lesson in the sunny, guess what? I'm out there a couple hours with you when I could be working on my game. So, yeah, the business part of it, although I kind of love teaching and getting my ideals across and seeing progress, it's a lifelong crap. That's why the pro players don't teach. I mean, the guys that are on tour until they retire, because being the best you can be is all consuming. So
Yes, it
yeah,
is.
I mean, you don't see the Steven Tyler or Mick Jagger or Michael Jackson or at the top of their craft stepping down to teach to tutor too many people, because they're on tour and they don't have time for it. So uh, same thing with me. I never reached that level. I'm like John. I wanted to be, in my fantasies. I just didn't have the money or actually the talent, or whatever. But I love the game. So, I stuck with it, and, I got value out of it other ways. But the business side of it, I was never crazy about.
Okay, that's very interesting. I didn't realize there were two different dynamics to the craft.
Well,
And
yeah, it's personal, and whether you want to exploit it and be professional with it. I mean, I don't want to give up my life. That means that if I'm going to go for something that heavy, that means I cannot have a wife. I cannot have any kids. I can't have any baggage, because other people are going to be damaged by my pursuit. All right. So basically, I didn't want to go that route. Okay, period. I couldn't be. I realized that it took too much self absorbment for me to get it to the next level. Okay, it's got to be all about you, and just you and your craft, and just you. And
okay.
I didn't know that I wasn't wired that way. I thought I was wired that way until, I don't know, it didn't feel right. It felt cold. It took the love and the passion out of what I love doing, creating.
Well, how
I
do you
love the
find it back? How do you get the love and the passion back?
I stopped trying to exploit it.
Oh, okay. All right. So you just,
Okay, doesn't mean that like it didn't make me money. You understand?
yeah.
Okay, I mean, in other words, okay, you can write music, or you can do hair, or you can do your craft for basically for everybody to know who you are. Okay, and get that fame and that fortune and all that attention and stuff like that. And I don't know. I just couldn't take myself to do it. I just couldn't. I couldn't be that much into me. You understand? I just love people too much, and I knew what the craft took. Okay, I knew what it took. I have friends that are there. Okay, and they're not married, or they were married. Okay.
Okay. All right. So when does does the craft ever become a hobby? I mean, when does it stop being the hobby and becomes the craft? Or when does it ever just, does it always stay in that very competitive. It's never a hobby. Guys golf as a hobby. They go out on Sundays and they golf. Vince, you have for years given a disclaimer to anybody that summer is you're not going to be around because this is what you do. You know.
Yeah, it's
no
more than a
hobby
hobby for me
Yeah.
because. Oh, I'm sorry, Vaughn.
No, I'm just saying when does it cross over? When is it not a hobby now? And this is my path, and this is where I'm supposed to be.
Well, it's an individual choice, like John says, if you don't go down the business, road, you can choose it to be a hobby, which I don't like to use the term hobby because I'm a lifelong learner of the sport. So I would call it a craft. For me, I'm too vested, even if I couldn't walk or, if I wasn't physically able to perform golf, I would still be interested in learning techniques so I could express them or just see them out in form. You know what I mean? If I watch somebody, I've got all kind of ideas in my mind about how a golf swing can be made. If I saw that actually flesh out on TV or in front of my eyes, I'd be thrilled because I've been running hypotheses through my mind, on different ways to, it's like a scientist for me. I practice every day and I'm trying stuff and I'm going back to old stuff and I got notes and I got, you know what I mean? I got techniques. So just like John's probably got all kind of haircutting techniques that he wants to try or, all kind of stuff that if it's your craft, that is a serious thing. If it's your hobby, you kind of do it when you're bored. I'm too vested to call it a hobby. So whenever you decide to be serious, if you're not business wise, then it's a craft, it's a pursuit, it's a learning process.
Right. Now, if somebody of not the same caliber wants to play with music with you, John, or golf with you, Vince, and they're not, do you have to dumb down a little bit to actually participate in this?
Well, it depends. It depends. If they're 5 and 6 years old, I'll dumb down.
I don't mean
because I think it's thrilling to it. No, I got to play with people with the same ability.
Oh, okay. So,
I mean, I can't do my job unless other people are doing their jobs too. Basically, and it's never been a hobby. It's whether I make money on it or not is not what dictates something as a craft and a hobby. Okay, I can't do what I do as a hobby. Hobby is knitting, crocheting. Okay, that's what hobbies are. Collecting toys, collecting coins. No, you can't do golf when no matter how much Vince knows about golf. Every day the wind is different. It's wet. Humidity is different. His game keeps on changing. Okay, period. Like my games do. They keep on changing. I don't have a set of if everything was the same template every time. You understand what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that would be a hobby, but my template changes all the time. So does Vince with his passion and his thing. On a humid day, the ball's not going to go as long. Okay. On windy days, he's got to adjust over this way. He doesn't his rules changes every day. My rules change every day. Okay. Period. So I can't afford to get stuck at a time in a place that I once was because that's not progress. Progress is leaving, honoring where you came from and looking at what you're going to do with this for the future, period. So I can't go back. Nor can I really do my craft with people that are not of equal. Matter of fact, I never think I'm good. I've just got a higher level of suck. Okay. Because I will never think I'm good. Okay. I just don't suck.
I was just going to say, listen, when I used to hustle the game a little bit. So, yeah, you used to welcome people that couldn't play as good as you, right? Because it was money involved. But as I evolved, and hustling isn't the main thing that I get out of the game. I kind of look for, enjoyment in personalities or getting to foursome together. It'd be like the ideal foursome would be like you inviting the ideal guest at your house for, a get together or something, or like, like you do on your boat rides, you're considerate of. So when I'm playing now, it's not as important because I'm not playing for money. So I can play with people that might not play as good as me or might play better than me. And I don't feel any way about it. It's just about kind of enjoying the company. I'm at that age now, but when I do play in tournaments, I put my serious thing on, and it's not that it's never be as serious as when I was 20 or 30, but it's more of a formal thing. So yeah, I can enjoy both aspects.
But
Well,
John,
let me ask Vince something. What happens if you're having an tournament and you have to you have a partner? That would matter.
If I had a partner that what, John?
You were in a tournament and it was you know how they have the teams where you go the game to. You would want somebody that was at your level.
Oh yeah. Well, when you're picking your partner, you definitely gonna pick the best
Right.
partner in competition, and well, John, believe me, the golf will bring a look at the pros this week at the U.S. Open. They were playing a tough course, tough conditions, and it can bring out the worst in you, man. It just no matter who you are, it's a very humbling game. So you always kind of have that, and that's what drives you, because it's humbling, and you have to work at it, but it's still no guarantees. So yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that but it's just not the case. I respectfully disagree, but in this game, it can be very humbling, and you don't know. I mean, I can have the greatest practice session in the world all week, and then get in the tournament, and things just don't. They just don't pan out. So you just have to accept that. That's just but.
well, John, you haven't played with someone in a long time. So don't misunderstand. I don't mean
No. I get that. I've not done live performance. I do recording.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot of recording and writing and everything. So all your
People.
is singular.
Well, they're not in the same room at the same time with me.
Oh, okay. So they do still participate. So it's all.
Well, yeah. The way we do recordings now, I mean, I can have my friend that I played with in Michigan, who now lives in North Carolina. I can have my computer in real time, like you and I and Vince are talking right now. And he's playing, and we're as if you were sitting next to me. So with this technology and the way it is now, no, you don't have to leave your house now.
Oh.
Okay, and if, basically, yeah, he's plugged in. When he's playing his guitar in North Carolina, it's coming up on my computer.
And are you recording it at that?
Oh yeah. We're, as if we're in the same rehearsal room, like we're having a conversation. Me and you and Vince could be at the Clock Restaurant right now, having the same conversation as we're having right now. And I'm in Tennessee, and you're in Michigan, and where are you at? You're in Michigan, right, Vince?
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's the new era of recording now.
Oh yeah. That's the way everybody does. Okay, now, so yeah, I probably spend more time playing with other people than I did when I was doing live shows. Okay, period.
Do you find your craft decompressing? Do you, when you're stressed or something, do you go, Vince? Do you go hit some balls, John? Do you go make some noise? I mean, do you decompress with your craft, or does it stress you out sometimes?
Both. Sometimes I just got to get away and forget about it, which I don't like to do, because if I'm not performing well or I'm not getting the most out of my game, I would rather go and find out why and practice more. But I found that sometimes you just gotta get away, so
Gotta walk away from it. Yeah, you try too hard. You can try so damn hard, that you become your own enemy. Okay, period. You're not flowing. I mean, there are times, I'm sure, when I put my sticks down and I have not played drum for 3 months, and I went back one day and sat behind there, and I was better than I ever was before. Okay, because I was screwing my own mind up with my own what I expect from me. Okay.
So you knew, John, put this down, walk away, and revisit it 3 months later. So you must have not been ready to go right back right away.
Oh
Were
no,
you
no,
tired
no,
of
no,
it?
no, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Well, because I mean, a lot of times, basically, a lot of time, it wasn't me behind my craft. It was my life outside that craft was that would basically put me in a box and maybe not allow to let my Zen just get to that focus of that wave to where there is no thought. It's just a
Well,
flow. It's
do
just a
you
thing. It's a wave that, and so sometimes I have to correct my life up. Maybe sometimes, I'm having a health thing, something. Okay. Period. So, for me to keep forcing it is damaging to me. Okay. Period. I need to recap and sometimes I'll use my craft. If I'm not doing it well, it's usually because something else is not going well in my life. So I have to address other things because I get so involved in my craft and my world keeps on changing and I didn't ask for any of this stuff, but you
do
get
you
it.
find that
Okay.
to be the case too, Vince? Does the outside get in sometimes?
Yeah, it can be. I tend to play my best when my mind is clear. I don't have a lot of problems at work or personal problems. But sometimes I get out there with those personal problems because I'm committed to playing or a tournament, and they just go away because you're so involved in them, and you just tell yourself you'll pick them up when you finish. It's no need of worrying about them when you play. But yeah, generally I like to be in a good mood, a good space in my life, and
You
you know,
do, and it
yeah,
helps.
it,
So, okay,
it does.
guys, in conclusion here, give me one profound thing about your craft that people should know. Vince,
Um, dedication. Whatever you yeah, whatever you want to do, you're not going to get too far without dedicating yourself. Educate and dedicate. I would just say, just keep it short. Learn as
good.
much as you can, and work hard.
Keep
And
learning, right?
huh?
Keep learning.
Yeah, never stop learning. Right.
Yeah. Okay, John, what about you?
Well, I, what like Ben says, it's never over. It's like
No,
what Isabel's mom told me is like, there's one more painting. There's one more thing I got to do. There's one more thing. There's one more thing. Next, 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 next. And you put series of nexts together, you don't get stuck at any craft at any time ever. Okay, what's next? Okay, I got this. Okay. Okay. All right. This is easy. Okay. So let's make this harder. Okay. Let's go up to a different level. Okay. I want to be the worst one in the room again. Okay. So I go up to a different level. Okay. And, you know, and that's part of the joy is being the worst one in the room, and then a year later you're beating them all. Okay, what I mean, it's that old hare and a tortoise race. I'm talking about. You seem like you're beating me, but I'm too persistent. I'm too stubborn. I'm too persistent. Okay,
are you
period.
stubborn?
Pardon me.
Are you stubborn?
Oh, very much. And yeah, very much in the right areas.
Okay, are you
I'm
stubborn,
stubborn with
Vince?
me, to
Yeah.
me, with
Um,
me.
I, yeah, I can be. It's one of the emotions that I watch out for. Let's just say that.
Oh, all right. So stubbornness can be good, can be bad. Keep it in its place.
Well, all your emotions like that, they're all could be good or bad. It's just depends on you being able to control it. Okay, period, and do it for the right reasons. Whatever
Very
you're gonna do for the right reasons. Okay, it doesn't have to be grand. You just have to do it for the right reasons.
oh,
And the
well,
moment I leave the right reasons, I don't get the right results.
true, very true.
You
Well,
know.
guys, I enjoyed this. Will you do it again?
No.
Sure.
I'm done with you. Oh, I love you to death, my friend. Okay.
I like this. You
You're
guys are
gonna edit that one. You're gonna edit that part raw, right?
keeping the damn part in. Yeah. Next time we meet, we should talk about. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, just
Figure it
surprise
out.
me.
Yeah.
And just remember, I'm an
What?
hour early.
Who are you
Okay.
talking to? Vince told me make it 1:00. It's his
No,
fault.
no, no, no. I'm an whatever you tell me. You have to put my time zone.
No, you have to put ours.
Yeah. See, there you go. See that stubbornness. You see how I'm giving in.
Oh, okay. Nice way. Yeah, flip the switch. All right, guys, say
All
goodbye.
right.
All
All
right,
right.
Ryan. Thank you.
All right.
Take care, John.
Hey, man, it's nice seeing you. One of these days we got to do it in personal, you know?
There you go. There you go.
You
All
see,
right.
Yep. But I don't golf though, dude. You know, I'm a lefty. I'm a lefty.
yeah,
All right, guys.
he don't play. Bye.
See you
Bye.
later. Bye bye.